because I couldn't really work out the connection, and then it clicked, obviously. And yeah, she went down there with a steel cage, and steel cage, Jesus, bloody strong woman she is, that Naomi, carrying a steel cage. She came down with a steel chair, a bit more realistic there. Oh, that's going to be in the intro of the video. She came running down with a steel cage. Oh, good God. Anyway, yeah, I've ruined it now. I've absolutely ruined that now. She comes running down with the steel cage, and just as you think she was about to attack Naomi, no, I'm doing it again. Jesus. Ugh. Edit that one out, please. Edit that last one out. Please delete that last bit. Keep the rest of it. Fuck it. At least I make myself laugh when I do this.
Are you ready?
We are Before the Free Count. Wrestling for the fans, by the fans.
The #1 podcast for the latest on Raw, SmackDown, all pay-per-views. My name's Charlie. I've been a wrestling fan since I was the age of 15. And over the last 5 years, I've gone on the most insane journey. We go through everything, analysing every moment. Welcome to Before the Free Count. So come along and let's go. Oh yeah, working. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back yet again to another episode of Before the Free Count. I am your host with the most, as always, Mr. Charlie Crick. And of course, today we're going to be talking about what's been going down on SmackDown and all the other news in wrestling since Wednesday. I know you thought we got a video on Wednesday as well, because this is part of our new schedule. We told you, you're going to be getting a video on Wednesday, you're going to be getting a video on a Sunday. We might try and make it a little bit closer together in the future, but give us time. Give us time. I wasn't even looking at the camera at that point, so if you're watching us on YouTube, that weren't very good interaction, was it? Hello, those watching this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I hope you're all well. I'm doing very well. Let's jump into the show this week. Of course, we're going to jump into SmackDown, as always, on Spotlight on SmackDown. And, let's break it down. Let's see what happened this week. Now, where did we start? We started with a very cool promo with Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Josh Combs. Oh, wait, no, they've ruined his name already. JC Mateo. We're a hyphenate away from John, from CK Richards. I mean, seriously, it was whoever's idea that was, JC Mateo. That's just so bad. I mean, even Josh Combs sounds better than that. Just give him back his original. Anyway, I digress. Okay, as I said, we started with that tonight. We went into the episode with them three walking down the ring. And we had Solo take over the mic, make some, chat about how they're doing all really well at the moment. And how they helped Solo, I don't know why I had to think about his name then. I don't know what happened to my brain then. And why they had to help Solo keep the USA Championship against LA Knight last week. That was very interesting. That they got involved in that match. I thought it was really weird. But of course, it was to introduce one to JC Mateo, and goes into about how they helped Jacob keep the. I keep wanting to say Intercontinental, and I know it's not. The USA Championship. And yes, good introduction for there. But then, just as he was about to carry on, Fatu takes the mic from him. Yeah. So, Jacob Fatu is not very happy with Solo Sikoa at the moment because he interrupted his match. And so did JC. So, I think there's going to be some unhappy campers in the Solo Sikoa group at the moment, which is quite interesting to see. There was some mentions on how Tama Tonga and Tangaloa are no longer part of this group, and I thought, sorry, did I miss something? I don't remember anything particular. Am I really being stupid here? Did I miss something major? Am I really messing up here? Because I don't think I am. You know, I've been watching like a hawk since we came back from Mania, and I don't remember anything at Mania happening with them two. I'm sure there wasn't. I'm actually going to go through. No, there's definitely nothing at Friday Night SmackDown. I don't even think we did. Yeah, because I remember saying Solo didn't have a match and all this, and that them two weren't involved. Yeah, so where the hell them two have gone, I don't know. But, you know, and then, of course, just as he went to go and ask Jacob Fatu to say, I love you, Solo, like how he used to, because he said it, but he said it in a very unhappy way. Just as he was about to say, I think no, he gets interrupted by LA Knight, who comes storming to the ring. And everyone, well, he comes storming to the ring. I say, everyone thought that was going to happen. And the music's playing, and he's actually on the ring announcer's side of the ring and grabs JC by the leg and starts going for him. That was a good intro to the show. I thought that was pretty cool. Got cut very quickly, though. And we went in to our first proper match of the night, which was Michin, Chelsea Green, and Alexa Bliss for, I can finally start talking about it, Money in the Bank season. Yes! Very excited. My favourite time of the year. So we had our first qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank, which, as I said, was against Chelsea Green, Michin, and Alexa Bliss. Brilliant match. Quite short for a qualifying match, I have to say. Loved it, though. Absolutely brilliant. And, of course, Alexa Bliss came out on top. So there we have it, our first women's competitors ready for the women's Money in the Bank match. We've got Alexa Bliss in there. And before I forget, and it's on my mind, later on we then cut to a promo where Charlotte Flair was back speaking to, sorry, I thought she walked out. Something like that happened last week. Oh yeah, we're just going to ignore that, are we? Yeah, okay, alright. We had a little promo between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair later on in the show, which involved Charlotte saying to Alexa, sorry, what's going on here? When we weren't even friends. She goes, no, but we were, when I started in NXT, you know, you helped me out and did the favour and did a few things to help me make my way. And she went, and I appreciate that. And she went, okay. Oh, I don't remember that, whatever. And then, of course, Nick Aldis comes out his dressing room, and we are also introduced yet again to Julia, who has just had a very quick meeting with him, and looks at Charlotte and says, why don't we talk about Money in the Bank? Goes straight in, and she goes, just remember, I don't need you, to Alexa. And she goes, that's what you think for now. Oh, what's cooking up? And I think this is going to come part of the Money in the Bank match, because later on in the show it was announced that next week's women's qualifier match on SmackDown will be Charlotte Flair, Zelina Vega and Julia in a qualifying match next week. Moving on in the show, I was going to do this in a different order, but you know what, let's do it this way around now, because we're in the Money in the Bank talk. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. You know, I'm excited. Everyone should be excited. It's Money in the Bank. It's the best pay-per-view of the year, apart from WrestleMania. No bias for SummerSlam, but, you know, I love Money in the Bank. Okay? I just think it's such a cool idea, and it just works perfectly every year to get more hype into whatever's going on. So, let's go into the men's now. So, the men's Money in the Bank match, we had Solo Sikoa versus, I know this, LA Knight and Rey Fenix in the match. Very, very good match. Could have been match of the night. I think that was match of the night, actually. For me, that was match of the night. Not to say the main event was bad, though. And we'll get to that later. Brilliant match. I think it was one of the longest of the whole night, to be honest. Quite a lot of matches this week seemed cut short. Let's cut them short, you know. But it was a brilliant match. You had LA Knight doing all of this and doing what he does best. You had Rey Fenix proving yet again why he is in the WWE now, the same as Penta. Like, you know, just incredible in the ring. Their ring work, their high-flying work, all that stuff. And you got Solo being Solo. And just as we thought, that I personally thought we were going to go in this and we were going to see Rey win this. That's who my money was on, was for Rey Fenix to go in and win this. Purely because I thought he's getting the push at the moment. It makes sense. All of that stuff. The person that did actually win was Solo Sikoa, which I didn't expect. I don't know why. I mean, it makes sense because there's nothing really going on with him at the moment. I mean, there is, but there isn't really. You know, so yeah, Solo Sikoa is the first male to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank match. And of course, whilst we're there, we'll talk about the match that's going to take place next week. And apparently, another thing to mention is if you've already had a qualifying match, doesn't mean you can't be in another one, because LA Knight returns next week in the qualifying match, and this time it's also with Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, there was a very good promo by Shinsuke Nakamura later in the show, which showed he is after Aleister Black. He is not happy, and he is coming for him, and he is coming for that Money in the Bank briefcase. Really good promo there. I like what they're doing with Shinsuke at the moment. I don't, you know, it's been a bit up and down the last couple of years with Shinsuke. I remember when I realised that he was, because there was a while where we didn't actually know if he signed a new contract, and I think this was at Survivor Series last year. I think we saw him in I think it was it can't have been Intercontinental. It must have been a USA Championship match, and he won it. And yeah, I think that was the moment that everyone realised that he's staying with WWE, because he wouldn't have won the title if not. And yeah, it's been a bit of a rough couple of years for him, I have to say. There's been nothing major apart from winning that championship. Has he won any other gold? Maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, it's been a bit up and down, but I'm hoping this is going to be a springboard with the way they're doing things at the moment for Shinsuke to lead on to bigger and better things. Maybe get some main events in a pay-per-view against someone. Maybe a John... Now, there's an idea. Let's have John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That could be a really good match. That would be an interesting match, especially with the styles. Maybe it wouldn't work. But, you know, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Let me know what you think. I think that would be a pretty cool match. Anyway, moving on. Of course, as I said, we then have that match next week. Going on back to Aleister Black there, we then had a rematch of last week's match with Carmelo Hayes, with The Miz by his side. Really good match, quite short, as I said, but it got interrupted by The Miz just as Aleister Black was about to pull off Black Smoke on Carmella, and because he jumped in the ring, it, I don't know what the word is, null and voided the match. So Aleister Black takes down The Miz, and then Carmelo Hayes, of course, does his jump off the top rope and gives Aleister Black his signature move, which I cannot remember the name of at the moment, so I do apologise. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was very quick. And again, I thought it was quite interesting that we're going straight back to that. You know, after a week, like, try and move it on a bit, please. But, you know, I haven't got a problem with it. But, you know, if they do it again next week, I think it's like, okay, come on. It's 3 weeks in a row now. Let's see something new. Come on, at least. Going back to how it was in order on the show, I believe we then had a match between DIY and Axiom after DIY attacked Axiom after their win against the Street Profits last week. I'm hoping I did mention that last week. I know I mentioned the match because I said how good it was and how much I'm enjoying Axiom and the Street Profits at the moment. And of course, we spoke a few weeks ago about how good that triple threat was, the ladder match. Brilliant match. Really, really good match. They're just killing it at the moment with the men's tag team matches. I don't know what's going on, but they're some of my favourite matches that I'm looking forward to each week now. They are seriously just absolutely knocking it out of the park with all of them. It's been nearly 3 weeks now, and I can't fault one of them at all. I mean, even though some of them have been a bit short, like this week, it was still a fantastic match. I don't know if it's where these 6 people work so well together. I don't know what it is, but it's just brilliant. It's brilliant to see. I'd really like them to give the 3 of them a chance at a match at Money in the Bank. Like a triple threat tag team title match. Like, you know, if Axiom win it next week, which I'll get into in a minute, spoiler, I think that the 3 of them could put on an amazing... Would they let them do a TLC match, with it being a ladder match for Money in the Bank? I mean, I don't know if they will, which is really annoying, because if they went with it, if they go for that at the moment, I think it could, I honestly think that could be a match that, if they did set it up, could steal the show. I definitely think at some point we've got to have a run back of that TLC that we saw 3 weeks ago now. It was just brilliant, and as I said, the 6 of them just work so well together. Of course, I'm keep on jumping over the main part of it, which was Axiom won the match. They'd already qualified, but DIY wanted a chance at qualifying for a title shot, so they kind of put it into this little storyline very quickly, and I thought it worked quite well. And it didn't, like, you know, get too much involved in, like, you know, making it drag out to another week or anything like that. They've put it in a perfect slot, and next week, the main event, I'm so excited for next week's main event now. We have the match that by that point we would have waited 2 weeks for, which will be, we will have Axiom versus the Street Profits for the Tag Team Championship. That is your main event next Friday. I'm so bloody excited for that match. As I've just said, I haven't been this excited about the tag team division in so long. So long. But what they're doing I think the last time I enjoyed it this much, genuinely, is when the Usos were the champions. Genuinely. I can't remember any time since then I've been this excited in them types of matches. And the whole division as a whole, as an all. I mean, geez, even Pretty Deadly are fantastic. I mean, the whole thing is just going so well at the moment. Viking Raiders are brilliant as well. I mean, there's so many. A-Town Down as well, I'm forgetting them. Jesus, we're killing it right now. We are absolutely killing it with the tag team division. So, yeah, big props or shout out whoever's, all of the people involved and, you know, that help work on the matches, work out this storyline, has been involved in the last 3 matches, and all them things. Whoever it is, give them the praise they deserve, because they've worked their butt off, everyone involved in this, for the last, I say, nearly month now, and it's pushed it so much that, you know, you can't ignore it. It's just been fantastic. The whole thing has just been fantastic, and I really hope it keeps going, and I would love to see a TLC match, a triple threat TLC match, or maybe a fatal 4-way as well. Include someone like the Viking Raiders, or I don't know, but, like, you know, something like that at Money in the Bank. If not, hold it off till SummerSlam. It's then trying to hold the momentum that it's got at the moment, and I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm not saying that at all. But I think, you know, strike while the money's hot is what I'd say. So yes, we move on from there. Going on to what was next? I can't remember now. What did we have? We had that match, and then we had, oh yes, of course, we then had 2 very interesting promos. One of them was showed in between the Axiom match, and one of them was in person later on down the line. We had a promo from Damian Priest to talk about their match at Saturday Night Main Event, which is next Saturday. That won't be on YouTube. I might do a quick recap video on it. and mention it in not next week, the week after's Monday Raw recap. We'll go from there. I don't know. If you want a video for Saturday night main event, let me know. I'll put it together quite quickly. It'll be nowhere near as long as these, and it will not be as long as the ones we'll be doing for the pay-per-views. But maybe, let me know. We got some pretty cool matches on it, which I was just about to talk about, so go back to it. So, yeah, Damian Priest put out this video to Drew McIntyre. I can't ever say his name without saying it in a Scottish accent. It's almost like impossible. It's just impossible, man. To say that this will be our third match. I beat you at WrestleMania. I beat you at Backlash. Come on, let's move forward. So, if you want to do this one more time, let's make it the final time. And I'm not going to make this easy for you. Let's make it a steel cage match. Brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant. Again, their matches have been fantastic as well at the moment. There's just been certain areas that have just been, okay, this is pretty good. At the moment, it's not taken me by surprise, because I don't ever not trust the talent to be able to pull stuff like this off. It's giving them the opportunities to go and do it. And yeah, it's really nice to see that they're not going to drag this one out. Not like they dragged it out with CM Punk and that, but the fact that it would have been the same story for Drew for nearly 2 years then. Not that it didn't work. I mean, he won Best Rivalry last year, so, there's always that. But no, we're going to get the third and final match in this series next Saturday on Saturday Night Main Event. And then, of course, we then had a promo from Drew, which basically said the same kind of thing. I'm not going to try and even, wiggle my way around it. It was basically both of them in two separate promos crapping on each other on what they're going to do in the ring. They were both brilliant promos, but I don't know why we needed two back-to-back within 20 minutes. I'm just being honest. Personally, preferred the one with Drew in the ring, even though I've not mentioned it. Just because I think that ones that are in the ring are better. And it's more fun for the audience that are there, not having to just look up and watch a screen. Believe me, I've been at events and they do stuff like that. You're like, why didn't you do it in the ring? It's really annoying. So yes, that's part of it. Going on to Saturday Night Main Event, let's have a little talk about Saturday Night Main Event. So what we got coming up next week on Saturday Night Main Event. So as I said, we got Drew and Damian Priest in a steel cage match. We have got, which was confirmed, I think one of them was confirmed this week. The other one we already knew about. We now have, I've got to get this the right way around. Get this the right way around, please. Think about it. One of them's got to be fighting the other. It cannot be the way you're saying it in your head. And I know I'm reading it wrong in my head, because I know that Seth and Braun are in the new faction together. So I know it's not Seth versus Braun this time next year. You never know, though. Or maybe later in the year. I don't know. Anyway, we've got, I'm really hoping I'm going to get this the right way around. We've got Bron Breakker versus CM Punk. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, definitely. And then we've got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and we've got Bron Breakker versus... No, that still don't sound right. Because I remember one side had the... I'm pretty sure Seth was at the top, CM Punk was there. So it must be the other way around. But that doesn't sound right in my head either. So either it is Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins, or Sami Zayn versus CM Punk, or Bron Breakker versus CM Punk, or Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn. Okay, it's one or the other. I can't remember, and I'm really annoyed with myself. I'm pretty sure it's... It's got to be the other way around, surely. It's got to be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, and CM Punk versus Bron Breakker. It's got to be. Oh, you know what? We're just going to move on, because it's going to annoy me all day. That will. So then we have got them matches to look forward to. But then, of course, we then had a promo later in the day where we had a interview with Wade Barrett interviewing Mr. R-Truth, which I know we spoke about very quickly. So at the end of Backlash, as we all saw in the press conference, R-Truth just came to congratulate John Cena during his press conference, and he just slams him through the top. What did R-Truth do? He helped you win the bloody match, man. So now we had an interview with R-Truth with Wade Barrett, and you could see Wade Barrett was, I think there was a reason why there was not a lot of face straight camera shots of Wade Barrett in that video, purely because he was clearly trying to stop himself from laughing, because that is just what R-Truth does. And he was saying, like, but the way he's treated you, R-Truth, and he was going, yeah, but what did John Cena teach us? Hustle, loyalty and respect. Never give up and all that stuff. My boy, everyone goes through bad times. You know, life, bills, dealing with the kids and all that stuff. I'm there for him. And he went, and if he needs someone to take it out on, I don't mind that being me. And, oh, bless him. Bless his little heart. But now we are going to have, and this will be the main event of Saturday Night Main Event. Mark my words, because they wouldn't put John Cena in a match on Saturday Night Main Event if it wasn't to main event, should I say. It will be R-Truth versus Saturday Night Main Event. And you know what? I'm really, really bloody happy this is taking place for two reasons. One, the fans wanted it really badly. And two, I'm really happy that they've actually gone, you know what, let's do this in Cena's final year. And make it, you know, it's not going to be a dragged out story, clearly, because it's going to be on Saturday Night Main Event. But the fact that they've actually gone, you know what, this deserves to happen in Cena's last year. You know, considering the amount of people that, you know, probably want to have one of those matches on Cena's last year. You know, fair play for them to go, no, the fans want this. It's not going to take a lot for us to push it. And literally all it has taken is a small little bit at the end of the press conference, and a tiny little 2-3 minute interview with R-Truth and Wade Barrett. And that's it. We got the match, and it works. It works like that sometimes. Sometimes you don't need major build up. No, sometimes you don't need to hear 5 minutes from both sides of it for 2 weeks straight. Unlike some matches, not going to name any names. But people know. And maybe sometimes you let someone go off the ball a little bit more, and it starts to become personal, and it destroys representation for the match. Oh wait, no, that did happen this year at WrestleMania. Anyway, I'm referring to Tiffany and Charlotte, if you couldn't tell there. Okay, if you couldn't tell. I still thought the match was great. I just felt like, you know, come on. This is just becoming a bit of a yard ball at the moment. The more you go into the more stuff that they stop you talking about was what made the match interesting in the freaking first place. Anyway, moving on from there. So yeah, we've got them matches. I can't remember if there has actually been any women's matches announced, but with 3 matches on there, and I know it's not a long card Saturday Night Main Event. I know it's usually about 2 hours. So yeah, as I said, I think there might be a women's match added to it, but I don't see them making it any more than 4 in the show. It just doesn't make sense to me. So yes, Saturday Night Main Event though looks very, very good. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. Moving on from there, we will go on to our sponsor, the amazing WrestleCrate, as you may have heard here. What is a WrestleCrate? Well, let me tell you. WrestleCrate is a monthly subscription box for people like you, you know, that love wrestling. What do you get in this box, you're probably wondering? Well, let me show you. Autographs from people like Daniel Bryan, Lita, Godfather, DDP, Kane, Sting, the Hardy Boys. Well, what else do you get? Well, maybe you get a cool poster like this one, cool key rings, even pretty cool Lucha Libre puzzles like this. Cool pins like these, and you also get awesome t-shirt just like all of these. It's the best part, because you come through us before the free count, you can get yourself a free Wrestle Crate with your first order just by going to www.wrestlecrate.co.uk and using the code BTTC, and you get a free box with your first order. How awesome does that sound? So what are you doing sticking around here? Go and get yourself one. Moving on from there, whilst we're talking about Money in the Bank, we then had the men's qualifying match for Money in the Bank, which was Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Rey Fénix. What could I not love about this match? It was the match of the night. It was brilliant. It was nice to see Jimmy Uso back in the ring again. It's been a little while for old Jim there. But, you know, he was great. As always, Rey Fénix, I can't talk more about the guy. I've said this before. He's just, you know, he's getting pushed to the moon. I personally thought he was going to win the match. That's who my money was on. I thought it would make the most sense. I didn't see Jimmy winning it. Don't know why. I just don't think it's time yet. I think there needs to be a bit more of a build-up or something else to happen for him to, you know, get into that kind of position. Not to say he doesn't deserve it. He does, 100%. But it kind of just seemed like, okay, let's put Jimmy Uso in a match and make it one to qualify for Money in the Bank. Okay, Solo Sikoa, let's put him in. Yeah, that makes sense. He's got nothing else going on. Rey Fénix, 100% people will consider him way higher than the other two to win the match. And then, of course, we were all wrong. And the winner was actually Solo Sikoa. Such a good match, man. I've said it before, and I might be reiterating myself here, but Rey Fénix is just on top of the world right now. Jimmy, he's got more talent in his body than I've got in my little finger, let's be honest. And Solo, he's just fantastic. I just feel like with Solo, there isn't a lot going on with him. I say that, the way the show started this week, maybe we are building up to something against Jacob Fatu and Solo at some point. It must be, surely. I mean, what if Solo wins and he cashes in on Jacob? Oh, that's an idea. There you go. I really loved the match. Really good. And then we found out who the match against next week will be, which will be, of course, LA Knight versus Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. And speaking of Shinsuke, but straight after the Money in the Bank match, we had our second to last match of the night, which was, of course, JC versus LA Knight. Now, why was this straight away? Because at the end of the match, JC, who was in the corner for Solo, of course, after when he won, LA Knight came back yet again to attack him. Nick Aldis was having none of this. He said, you know what? You two have been going at it all night. Why don't we just put the two of you in the ring right now? That's not a bad impression of him, to be fair. And that was JC's first match. Good. Again, short. Too short to judge. You could tell the guys had Olympic wrestling experience, so the way he was holding some of those clutches on him. I mean, at one point, I genuinely thought he was going to literally lift him up, throw him behind his back, and just throw him onto his feet. You can tell this guy's got strength, and he's used it in an athletic Olympic way before. You know, I heard something that did surprise me, that apparently the guy is, and I'm not saying this has anything to do with, you know, anything to, you know, take from the guy, but apparently he's 35, which is a very interesting age to debut for WWE, because most wrestlers don't make it past 45 in the ring. I mean, you got some very, very rare circumstances. You've got Cena still going. You've kind of got The Rock still going. Rey Mysterio is still going. You know, there's a few of them. Randy, I think, is he? Yeah, he's got to be, because they're about the same age, John and Randy. So, yeah, it's very rare to see people go into their 50s still fighting, especially at that level. So if they're going to do anything with him, they've got to act on that one quick. You need to get JC going within the next 2 years. To then, if you're going to start main eventing him and putting him in stuff like that, you need to be there within the next 3 years. And we all know that's a very hard task to do. Look at how long it took to get Roman Reigns over. 10 years working on it, and they had to add another 5 years to make it pay off. Just saying. But he's fair play to him. Roman's a legend, so I'm not dissing that. I'm just surprised at the age that he is. Not saying that he couldn't do it for that long. Look at the people I've just mentioned. I was just quite surprised. Yeah. So that was that match. Moving on to the final match of the night, which was a banger. We had Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship. This has been a long time coming. We've known this match was going to happen for quite a while, and we were eventually going to lead to it. It was spectacular. I can't even deny it. It was so good. Again, quite short for it to be a main event. They keep on. It really was a theme this week. That match was quite short, and Anyway, I loved it. I mean, I know it might have seen. If you were watching it live, it might have seen longer. But what you got to remember is when I watch it, it's the next morning, and they've cut out the ad breaks, and plus the fact I can just skip to the next bit. So if you count the time that they're actually in the ring, it weren't that long, mate. It really weren't. If it was live, they just didn't show it all, I guess, which was quite surprising because the way they're editing stuff. I'm going off subject here. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the match was fantastic. We had some great moves from both of them. They work so well together, Nia and Tiffany. They really are fantastic in the ring together. There's a reason why this story started the way it did. They just knew within an instant that these two could work so well together. And it helps both of them. It puts Tiffany higher up there. It gives Nia a brilliant competitor to go against, and that they can work really well off in the ring. They just help each other. It was brilliant. Just near the end of the match, though, I'm going to talk about the way this one finished because it was so good. Just as you thought that Tiffany was about to, get it done, Naomi comes running down to the ring, which first of all I thought, where the hell have you come from? What's this got? But then just as you thought Naomi was about to attack with the steel chair, Jade Cargill's music hits. She comes running down. Naomi goes for her with the chair. She ducks over, gets her, kicks her, makes the chair go somewhere else, and throws her back. She goes running out the ring. Jade goes the other way. They're fighting each other. Going straight back to the ring. Naomi is somewhere else. I don't know why I'm mentioning her now. Nia Jax has got Tiffany on the ground, and she goes... Tiffany is on the top rope, and she goes for the beautiful moonsault, and then lands it 1, 2, 2.5, and she kicks out. Nobody is kicked out of the beautiful moonsault ever. Not even in NXT. It's not been done. And for a minute, I thought, something really bad actually happened with them two in real life. Was that supposed? I genuinely didn't think that was supposed to happen, because I thought, you've just ruined her major move. I was shocked. I really thought that was it because of the other two coming out. I thought, oh my god, she's actually going to win it. Hold it still, and oh man. Then, she then tosses Tiffany to the other side of the ring, and she goes for the Annihilator, and she sits straight back up and gets out of the way. I was like, oh my god. It was, oh man. It was insane. Go and watch it. You've got to go and watch some of these matches this week. They were just so good, man. And then, Tiffany, I can't remember what happened, but basically Nia... Oh, that was it? Yeah, of course. She lands the Annihilator, and of course she thinks that she's won the match, and then of course she sits up, she's in shock, Nia gets out the ring and goes, no, I'm not having it. I've clearly just won that match. Grabs the title from the podium, starts walking, drops the title on the side of the ring, looks down, and what does she see? She sees the chair that Naomi left there. Picks up the chair, holds it in front of her face. Just as she goes to get up on the ring, she gets up onto the platform. Out of nowhere, Tiffany comes running at her and kicks the steel chair into her head. And the reason why I'm doing that, she was holding the chair this way, so the thicker bit of the chair was against her head. It goes slamming into her forehead with absolute brute force. Before we know it, she's on the ground, and if you look, you can see it clearly. Her entire forehead is slashed completely open, and there is blood dripping everywhere. Clearly wasn't supposed to happen that way, but oh my god, there was blood again. It was amazing. Alright, I shouldn't get that excited that someone genuinely got hurt. She's fine, by the way. She's completely fine. She's put stuff out on Instagram joking about it. It's happened quite a few times to Nia Jax. But, you know, I just love a match where there's a bit of colour in there. It was shocking to see, especially how much it looked like, oh, that really was not supposed to happen. Straight down and very quickly a 1-2-3, purely for two things. One, that was the end of the match, clearly. And two, because of the blood. That weren't supposed to happen. And they cut immediately away to Tiffany walking around the ring. You see the ref trying to cover her head like that with his arm. And you do see for a brief second as Nia gets out the ring, there's someone there with like a white towel to put straight over her head so people can't see the blood on TV. I don't know why, but you could clearly see it, like within them 3-4 seconds that it happened. It was brutal, but oh my god, what a match. It was so good. It was so good. Fair play to both of them. Both did absolutely fantastic in the match. Yes, there was a minor injury. Yes, I probably got a little bit more excited than I should have. But it was fantastic. And even the run-in, I didn't see that coming at all. I don't know if someone called that. Fair play to you. But, yeah, that's it. That is Friday Night SmackDown for this week, guys. Absolutely brilliant. Are we going to get a replay of that match at Money in the Bank? I really hope we do. Because it was so good. We waited a couple of months for it. We got it. It paid off. And the other thing is, it's going on to the other women's side of it. Io Sky, she's got to have a match at some point for the title again soon. So, you know, again, I've said this quite a few times tonight, but some of the divisions are just absolutely killing it right now. The women's division has been killing it before WrestleMania, let's be honest, and is still going strong. Two fantastic champions on both ends at the moment. The undisputed WWE Championship and the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And then the men's tag team division, is absolutely killing it at the moment. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's just been brilliant at the moment. Them two divisions have just been fantastic. Hopefully there is more to come. But of course, that is it for this week's episode of Spotlight on SmackDown. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed. Remember, all of the social media is down below. You can check that out. You can find us on YouTube, which some of you may be watching us on. We are on Spotify and Apple Music as well. If you want to listen on there, you may be right now. And of course, we also have the TikTok page as well. You can also follow me on my TikTok and Twitter and Facebook down below. And I don't think my Facebook's obviously not Instagram. That's the one I was thinking of. They're owned by the same company, guys. Give me a chance here. Anyway, wrapping this up. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will be back on Wednesday for you guys with the Raw recap and we're seeing which other matches we've got coming for Money in the Bank. We're right in the middle of the season, guys. Only 3 weeks to go today. 3 weeks today that I filmed this. So it'll be, it would have been, if you're listening to this on Sunday, the day it came out, there will be literally 3 weeks yesterday for you since Money in the Bank. Oh, it's getting exciting. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.